company, Sodexo. And I've been asked to speak today on two topics. One of them is Sodexo's recent agreement with the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. Thank you. And the second is with sustainability at Emory University. The agreement with CIW was reached in August of 2010. Sodexo and CIW have been negotiating the last 12 months, I am told, and they have finally reached an agreement. In the agreement, Sodexo agrees to pay an additional 1.5 cents per pound for all tomatoes that are harvested in the Florida area with those workers. The money is set aside for the workers themselves and goes forward to improving their working conditions and their pay. In addition, Sodexo has agreed to the code of conduct that CIW has, and that will go side by side with Sodexo's code of conduct for vendors. And third, Sodexo has agreed not to purchase any tomatoes from anyone presently in litigation with the federal government. The federal government has a number of firms in that area that are before federal judges with allegations of mistreatment of employees and unfair labor practices. How that impacts Emory University? It impacts us in the sense that Sodexo is doing what is correct. We were not purchasing any tomatoes, we being Emory Dining Sodexo. When I returned to the United States in 2007 was when I was made aware of the CIW's actions, came to Emory University, and we instructed all of our vendors that we were not to receive any tomatoes from that area. Our tomatoes come from North Georgia, yeah, they do, North Georgia, South Georgia, North Florida, Tennessee, and then during the winter months, December, January, and February, our tomatoes come from California. So this agreement, well, should be in place right now because the tomato harvest in South Florida will be in process right now. So that money will start flowing to those workers. In the area of sustainability, Emory University is recognized as a leader in that field nationally. Dr. Wagner charged the Sustainable Food Committee that Dr. Peggy Barlett chairs back in 2004 with the task of developing a sustainable food vision for Emory University. I joined the committee in 2007 along with my executive chef for sustainability, Molly Walsh. The committee completed its work of developing the guidelines for sustainable food at Emory University at the close of the 2007-2008 academic year. And these guidelines cover 8 different areas of food: produce, milk, dairy, groceries, meats, pork, well, meats and pork, and poultry. So that was put into place at the end of 2008. At the end of the 2008-2009 school year, Molly and I had finished our timeline for implementing all of those goals. The end of last year's academic year, our goal was to achieve 50% of all of our produce purchases coming from Georgia or the Southeast region, and to have fair trade coffee at all of our coffee locations. At the end of the school year, we were happy to be able to announce that we had achieved fair trade coffee in all of our locations, including the resident dining at Dobbs and the resident dining at Oxford. We have 2 national brands, Einstein's and Starbucks, at which we are still working to be able to complete all of their coffees into the fair trade. Both of those locations do offer a fair trade coffee, but also with coffees that aren't fair trade. We have also accomplished the purchasing of Georgia shell eggs, which was very fortuitous for us this year with the disaster of the salmonella outbreak and the eggs from the factory farms in the state of Iowa. We are purchasing grass-fed beef from White Oak Pastures, which is a South Georgia rancher. We purchase milk from Sparkman Dairy. Sparkman is a family-owned Georgia dairy in South Georgia. We are purchasing most of our produce now during the summer months, especially from Georgia farmers. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, and we also have the Heritage Turkey program that we put on each November for the harvest, bringing heritage turkeys into the mix. The ultimate goal for Emory University is that all of the dining services, that includes the hospital, Emory Dining, Sodexo, as well as the vending, purchase 75% of all their product from Georgia or the Southeast region by the year 2015. I can't report for the vending or the hospital, but I know that they're working to achieve that goal by that date. In addition to the food side of sustainability, we also have composting. The goal is to achieve 95% of all of the dining service food waste will go into composting by the year 2015. Currently, we are composting pre- and post-consumer waste at Dobbs. Catering is also in that movement, and we will be doing Cox Hall after renovations are done to the loading dock area, which we share with the research building. And right now we don't have any space for the containers that hold the pre- and post-consumer waste. So that's our activity as of right now. Thank you.